Your canine companion possesses an uncanny ability to anticipate your arrival long before your key turns in the lock, utilizing a complex array of sensory inputs that go far beyond simple routine. Many pet owners mistakenly attribute this behavior to a supernatural sixth sense or some form of canine magic, but in reality, it is a profound and impressive display of high-level intelligence. Your dog has meticulously developed a sophisticated internal system designed specifically to predict your every move. By observing and cataloging subtle environmental cues, such as the specific angle of the sun's position in the sky or the faint, distant sounds of your car approaching the neighborhood, they know exactly when you are scheduled to show up. However, their predictive powers extend much further than just your homecoming. They are constantly monitoring your preparatory rituals. Have you noticed how your dog reacts the moment you begin to lace up your running shoes? They have already deduced that it is time for a vigorous walk. When you tighten your necktie in front of the mirror, they understand the visual signal that you are heading to the office and that they will be left to their own devices for several hours. If your dog consistently demonstrates that they know what you are about to do before you even initiate the action, you should offer them your congratulations. You are not just living with a pet, you have a true detective residing in your home who is constantly analyzing your behavior patterns. The emotional depth of dogs is often revealed through their remarkable capacity for empathy and their instinctive desire to offer comfort during your most difficult moments. You may have noticed how your dog magically appears at your side the very instant you begin to feel overwhelmed or start to cry. This is far from a random occurrence or a mere accident of timing. This specific behavior reveals a profound level of emotional intelligence that the scientific community has only recently begun to study with the seriousness it deserves. Researchers have uncovered that dogs are capable of detecting incredibly subtle changes in your facial expressions and minute shifts in the tone of your voice that even other humans might overlook. Even more astonishing is the discovery that dogs can pick up on specific chemical scents that your body emits when you experience various emotional states, such as sadness, stress, or anxiety. This is precisely why, when you are feeling down or emotionally exhausted, your dog does not merely notice your state. They choose to remain steadfastly beside you, providing a silent, comforting presence until the emotional storm has fully passed. Their ability to mirror and respond to human emotion is a hallmark of their advanced cognitive and social evolution. A dog's adaptive intelligence is frequently demonstrated by their ability to learn from their mistakes, a trait that goes far beyond what most people assume about animal cognition. Consider the scenario of a dog sniffing a hedgehog and getting pricked by its sharp quills. A truly intelligent dog does not require that painful lesson to be repeated a second time to understand that they should maintain a respectful distance from such creatures in the future. While we humans often find ourselves repeating the same errors multiple times before the lesson finally takes hold, a smart dog is capable of adjusting its behavior after just one single negative experience. This specific skill directly contradicts the common but mistaken belief that dogs have short memories or are doomed to repeat their errors indefinitely. To determine just how smart your particular dog is, you only need to observe how they handle failure. If one solitary bad experience is sufficient for them to learn a permanent lesson, you are undoubtedly living with a bona fide canine genius. Conversely, if they need to make the same mistake several times before changing their approach, they may simply be an innocent, enthusiastic soul who lacks the sharpest cognitive edge but makes up for it with spirit. Regardless, the ability to link a past action to a negative outcome and change future behavior is a clear sign of a functioning, intelligent mind. Because dogs lack the physiological ability to speak human language, they have had to become incredibly creative in how they communicate their needs, often developing a secret code shared exclusively with their owners. When your dog brings their leash to you in their mouth, they are not just playing, they are using a symbolic object to ask for a walk. When they carry an empty food bowl into the kitchen and drop it at your feet, they are clearly articulating their hunger. What is truly fascinating about these interactions is that these signals form a unique, localized language between you and your pet. A highly intelligent dog will actively experiment with different behaviors to see which ones yield the best results. If they discover that a soft, specific bark by the back door consistently prompts you to let them outside, they will memorize and repeat that exact pattern with precision. This process of trial, error, and eventual mastery of communication is a strong indicator of cognitive prowess. While this may seem like a basic sign of smarts, the next level of intelligence is reserved for those pups who are truly ingenious in their approach to the world. Your dog may be exhibiting a cognitive ability that was once believed to be the exclusive domain of primates and a select few bird species: the use of objects as tools to solve complex problems. If your dog has ever intentionally pushed a chair across the floor to reach a piece of food left on a high table, you are witnessing a genuine genius at work. Unlike their wild wolf ancestors, who rely primarily on raw instinct and physical prowess, your domestic companion has the potential to develop the amazing skill of manipulating the objects in their environment to achieve a goal. Science has documented numerous fascinating cases where dogs use their paws and snouts not just for movement or communication, but to physically alter their surroundings. Some dogs have learned to open complex door latches, others have been seen pulling the toilet handle to access fresh water, and many will strategically move objects to reach spots that would otherwise be inaccessible. This level of manipulation of the physical world demonstrates a very sophisticated level of causal thinking. When your dog utilizes an object to solve a problem, they are providing undeniable proof that they understand the fundamental relationship between cause and effect, a cornerstone of higher intelligence. There are certain dogs that possess a talent for understanding human communication that will surprise even the most seasoned animal experts. These dogs can perfectly grasp exactly what you want or what you are referring to simply by observing your gestures and body language. When you point at a distant object, there are dogs that do not just stare at your finger, as many animals do, but actually follow the invisible line of your gesture to the target. They understand the underlying intention behind the motion. This specific ability is so advanced that it actually surpasses the capabilities of many monkeys. While scientists often struggle for long periods to teach chimpanzees the simple concept of a pointing gesture, many dogs seem to master it naturally and instinctively. If your dog can track down hidden objects or navigate toward a specific location just by following the direction of your gaze or an outstretched finger, they are demonstrating a skill that even human babies do not always pick up with the same level of ease. This suggests a deep evolutionary synchronization between humans and dogs that allows for a level of nonverbal communication that is nearly unparalleled in the animal kingdom. Beyond just understanding your physical gestures, your dog also possesses a surprising and sophisticated sense of justice. They have an innate understanding of what is fair and what is not, particularly in social situations. This was famously demonstrated at the Clever Dog Lab at the University of Vienna, where scientists recreated a scenario involving two dogs performing the same task. When both dogs were asked to shake, but only one of them received a treat as a reward, the dog that was being ignored eventually stopped cooperating entirely. This sense of equity is something you can likely observe in your own home. If you begin to pet or give attention to another dog, your own dog will often attempt to step in or intervene, asserting their right to equal treatment. These findings highlight the fact that dogs are far more emotionally and cognitively complex than they are usually given credit for. This specific frustration with inequality and the demand for fairness is considered to be on par with the moral and social development of a 3-year-old human child, showing that their brains are wired for social harmony and justice. The speed at which a dog can learn and retain new commands is one of the most visible indicators of their cognitive flexibility. There is a massive spectrum of intelligence across the canine world. While some highly gifted dogs can master a new command after only 5 repetitions, others may require up to 100 attempts to fully grasp the same cue. It is important to understand that this gap is not necessarily a sign of stubbornness or lack of will. Instead, it showcases the incredible diversity in cognitive processing power among different individual dogs. Interestingly, the quickest learners are often able to process and internalize commands without the constant need for food rewards or treats. These high-functioning dogs are interpreting our verbal language and hand signals in a far more sophisticated and abstract way than we previously thought possible. Their ability to bridge the gap between a human sound and a physical action with minimal reinforcement is a testament to the high-level brain power they possess. When it comes to decoding the human language, many dogs have an impressively large vocabulary that goes far beyond simple words like sit or stay. If you have ever found yourself having to spell out the word WALK just to prevent your dog from jumping for joy prematurely, you already have a strong suspicion that your pup is exceptionally smart. While the average human uses about 5,000 words in their daily conversation, the average dog is capable of learning up to 250 of them. However, that number is by no means the upper limit of canine potential. There have been exceptional cases, such as Chaser, a border collie studied extensively by scientists, who proved she could understand more than 1,000 distinct words. Specifically, Chaser was able to identify and fetch 1,022 different toys by their unique names. What is even more fascinating is how a dog's brain processes this information. MRI studies have revealed that when a dog hears words they recognize, the parts of their brain that light up are remarkably similar to the language processing centers in the human brain. They aren't just hearing sounds, they are processing meaning. The frontier of canine communication has recently expanded into the use of interactive buttons that play recorded words when pressed. A groundbreaking study conducted at the University of California, San Diego, analyzed a staggering 260,000 button presses from 152 different dogs over a period of nearly 2 years. The most surprising discovery was not just that the dogs could use the buttons, but the logic behind their usage. Researchers found that approximately 195,000 of those presses followed statistically significant patterns, meaning they were not random. When a dog presses a button for outside followed immediately by bathroom, they are not acting by chance. According to the lead researcher Federico Rossano, these specific combinations occur far more frequently than probability would suggest. Dogs are literally using these tools to construct simple sentences, telling their owners things like, "I need to go out to do my business," or pairing food and water to indicate they are thirsty after a meal. This demonstrates a level of intentional, structured communication that was once thought impossible for dogs. Creativity is a hallmark of high intelligence, and dogs often display this by inventing their own games and rules for play. If your dog has ever deliberately dropped a ball down a flight of stairs specifically so they could chase it as it bounces to the bottom, you are seeing a creative canine mind in active operation. This behavior is neither accidental nor a simple reflex. It is a calculated attempt to create entertainment. When your dog takes an ordinary object, like an old blanket, and transforms it into an elaborate toy for a self-invented game of tug-of-war, they are demonstrating a type of thinking that was once believed to be exclusive to humans. Scientists refer to this as self-initiated play. It involves the cognitive step of creating something entirely new rather than simply mimicking a behavior they have seen before. This kind of spontaneous, original creativity is definitive proof of a higher level of intelligence in a complex internal life. There is a significant cognitive distinction between dogs that try to escape because of separation anxiety and those who are true escape artists. While an anxious dog might try to chew through a door in a state of panic, a furry Houdini acts with calm, calculated precision. These master escapists will carefully survey their entire surroundings, looking for weaknesses before they ever make a move. These dogs solve the puzzle of confinement with an extraordinary level of spatial understanding and planning. First, they identify the specific flaw in their enclosure, perhaps a loose latch or a gap in the fence. Then, they plan a precise sequence of physical moves required to exploit that flaw. Finally, they execute their great escape, often without leaving a single trace of how they did it. If you own a dog that is a master of escape, you will constantly need to sharpen your own wits, because you are dealing with an intelligence that is likely much greater than you realize. While many people operate under the assumption that dogs live only in the immediate present, modern science is proving that their long-term memory is actually quite phenomenal. Dogs are capable of identifying specific people even after being separated from them for many years. They also retain memories of very specific details, such as remembering that a particular person likes to play with them using a specific blue plush toy. Dogs utilize and combine different types of memory to navigate their world. Their spatial memory allows them to recall complex routes and paths after walking them only a single time. Meanwhile, their episodic memory helps them remember exactly where they hit a specific toy or bone months in the past. They can even retain the understanding of complex commands for years without any intervening practice, which is a sign of immense cognitive stability. If your dog can lead you straight to a park you haven't visited in over a year, it isn't just luck or instinct. It is a display of a powerful, enduring memory. Highly intelligent dogs do not just rely on their own past experiences to learn, they are also capable of learning through the direct observation of others. If your dog has figured out how to open a toy bin or a specific door after watching you perform the action repeatedly, they are engaging in a complex cognitive process. It was once thought that only primates were capable of this type of observational learning, but studies have confirmed that dogs also analyze, understand, and then replicate the actions of humans and other dogs. This is especially prevalent when they are puppies, as they are constantly scanning their environment for social cues. This advanced social skill allows them to anticipate the intentions of those around them and adapt much more effectively to their surroundings. As you can see, the intelligence of your dog is likely much higher and more multifaceted than you ever imagined. You simply need to pay closer attention to these subtle, brilliant signs of their cognitive depth. If these revelations about the hidden genius of your canine companion have changed the way you look at the four-legged friend sleeping at your feet, then you belong here with us. We are dedicated to uncovering the profound truths and the incredible history of the animal kingdom that often go unnoticed. If you want to continue exploring the deep bond between humans and animals and unlock the secrets of the natural world, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We are digging up the history and the science that others have tried to bury. Help us plant the seeds for a more informed future. Our next treasure trove of knowledge will be opening very soon, and you won't want to miss what we find next.